Hey everybody, what's up? It's the Bleez and Cal here, and as promised, I am going to have just a Q&A session with you guys. You guys are sending me the stuff that you wanted me to answer. Some of the stuff is on my FAQ, but I thought might as well just toss it up on here. So then, what I'm going to do is actually go through the people that ask me off and on and give them a little shout out as I'm answering their questions. So then I had a double up, a non-orange and Tazanite Heliconia asked me why I decided to do a Dirk cosplay. One of my good friends asked me to dress up as Dirk, the same way that people tell me that I'd make a great bro or Soul Eater Evans, or just the suggestion of cosplaying. And I was thinking I didn't really have much planned for this summer, so then I was thinking, this would be a good costume, and so I just decided to go for it. Anon Orange also asked me what's my favorite thing that Dirk has done in canon or said. And the one quotation that I was thinking of was actually said by Dave, so I had to go find something else. There's the one flash panel of Dirk just absolutely going to town where he just goes through and creates things, flies through the interdimensional portal, picks people up, is making out with people, and it's just super epic and badass. And I saw something about how he was actually rapping the entire time he was doing that. So then, I don't know, it just seems really badass, and I just really like it. Going on, Sand Siblings is asking me what my favorite Guardian or Lucis was, and I have to say Dad, John's dad, just because he's such an underlying badass. He kind of reminds me of my dad. Just because he's such a badass and such a strong guy. The guy once took a safe and was throwing it at people. It was just really impressive. And the fact that he leaves all those little notes for John around the house and just hidden little places for him to find, with all those little encouraging little tidbits for him, I just found that really wonderful. And it kind of reminds me of the dad I want to be, I guess. I don't know. Just got me thinking. Mantis Princess asked me what my favorite Pop-Tarts flavor is and why. And I gotta be honest, it's s'mores, the frosted s'mores flavor, because if I'm gonna eat something that is that terrible for my health and that bad for my body, at least it's gonna freaking taste good. Oh, it's gonna be wonderful. Ooh, either that or the Oreo ones, or the cookies and cream. Those ones will make my day every day. The other question that Tanzanite Heliconia asked me is, how did I get into Homestuck? And last summer, which, this convention story will be, fleshed out a little bit more when I get into it, but I met Sand Siblings at my first convention, and just in passing, she had mentioned it. And without any push at all, I just decided to take a look into it and see what it was. It took me a second to find it, because I really didn't know what I was looking for. But then, I just got hooked. It was really cool, and I thought I would just keep on looking at it, figure out that it kind of latches onto you and you really can't get away from it, and then you get into the fandom, and then your entire life is over. Then yeah, anyways, going on, user I'm the fucking Khaleesi asked me if I like bees. Now I suppose I do. Yeah, bees are really not that bad, and they're kind of necessary for plant growth, so I would say yes. However, I will say wasps, on the other hand, are dicks, and I absolutely hate them, and that's just a fact of life. Durst Dix asked me what was one thing I did as a child that I will always remember. Playing Legos with my brothers. When I was growing up, we had huge boxes of Legos, and I think it was every Sunday we would take them out, and we would just be trying to build these sets that we had, trying to build different things, and just spending time on creating something. It was just really something that all four of us, me and my three older brothers, could really join forces on. And sometimes we'd build one big thing, sometimes we'd build the castle set. It was just one of those things that always sticks with me, and it's just something that brings me back to hanging out with my brothers. User Blue Blah asked me, how do I feel about Jane Crocker? Rumors have been flying around that you two have been ellipses, and what I have to say to that is she's one of my best friends. I honestly think that her and English need to just cut through the red tape. Honestly, everyone knows that she's crazy about him, so then they just need to stop. It's ridiculous. Just stop being so angsty and just cut to the chase. Muscular Midget Equius asked me, what's my favorite thing about cosplaying? And I gotta say, the community that results from it, if you wear a costume to a convention, you'll always find people that feel and think the same way you do. And it's something that I've really enjoyed in the little bit of cosplaying that I've done. I gotta say also the work you put into it and the accomplished feeling you get from finding all the parts, putting the costume together, screen printing the shirts, making the plushies. You know, it's something that it seems a little cliche, but the journey is far better than the result or something like that. Suddenly Pants asked me what my con schedule is. I am for sure going to Convergence in July. I will be there all weekend. And I have been thinking about going to Minneapolis, which is at the end of June. And I'm thinking I might just have to go. And it seems like it would be a really great time. And yeah. And I've heard tell that there's going to be a Homestuck panel there, so I might be auditioning for that. Who knows? User Sis is here. Asked me where I got my shades. That's something that's on my FAQ. I got that off of this third-party seller on Etsy who makes cosplay-specific glasses. And I have a link up in my FAQ if you guys want to go check that out. I know he has Briscoe glasses. I know he has Dave glasses. There's all kinds of good stuff in there. And these right here were only, I think it was about $25 to have them sent to my room at school. So that was pretty cool. Now on to the Anons. I was asked if I watch Hetalia. No, I haven't. I've heard wonderful things about it, and it's on my lengthy list of things that I need to get into. But if you guys were looking around today, I started Supernatural yesterday and then got through the first season today. So that's kind of a big undertaking for me, and I don't think I'm going to stop until it's completely over. My favorite song is the song All That Love's About, which is from WALL-E, the Pixar film, composed by Thomas Newman. It's only 37 seconds long, but it has been my favorite song since I heard it. It is so absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend just going and looking it up. It's one of those ones that it's a 30-second song, but it stops right as the chord progression is leading up, and the only way you can resolve the chord progression back to the root chord is to repeat the song. And do not get me started on the romantic implications of that song because you will have me going forever. So then, my favorite TV shows are The Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, now Supernatural, Neon Genesis, Evangelion. I don't really watch a lot of other TV. I mostly have Netflix and the internet. I do watch Adventure Time as well. That is probably one of my favorites because it's, kind of a social commentary, kind of weird show, makes you feel like you're on drugs. I don't know. I've just always been into it, I suppose. My favorite free time activity, considering that there are a lot of weird and quirky things that I do, I basically like putzing, which I would define as spending a lot of time just focusing on one thing. It takes a little while, but it's something that you feel like it's necessary and fun to be putting that much time into it. That's why I do jewelry making. That's why I do cosplay stuff like this. It's just something where when I can take time to do something that I know will be a really great thing to have done, and I'll feel really accomplished after making something or doing something. It's something that is what I really like to do. My favorite Supernatural character is pretty a difficult question considering I'm only in the first couple episodes of season 2. And considering the amount of character development that they've had, I really can't choose between the two brothers. Sam and Dean are, they're just wonderful characters, and the kind of energy that they've put into them through this first season is amazing, and I really can't choose between the two of them. If I could, I would choose both, because them as a team just blows my mind. It's so great. My favorite cosplay is probably the Elizabeth cosplay that they, I believe, used as a model for Elizabeth's character in the game for Bioshock Infinite. I'm going to put the link to the IGN article in the description. So then if you guys want to check that out, it's an amazingly done cosplay. Oh man, so crazy. My favorite fan art, I can't pick a particular image or a particular artist. What I can pick is my favorite genre, is the gender bending, the prom stuck, the time stuck, the iterations of characters that are outside of the canon that are, different costumes or different clothing items. It's that concept of taking a character everyone knows and switching something around to give it a new twist or a new theme. That is something that I know I could never do, and I always like to just sit there and look at it. There's actually one of Dirk Strider in like a suit and tie that is absolutely awesome. And if I really could, I would totally make that costume. I might be looking into that for prom stuck for the Minnesota Homestucks. I'm not sure. I'll have to take a look at that. My favorite Homestuck ships. I don't know. I really don't think that far into ships, but if I had to choose, I would definitely say, hold on. I would probably be, it would definitely Dirk and Roxy together, but it's like when people ask me about my OTP, I really don't have a wonderful answer for them, except for my parents, but the quadrant map, I'm going to have to get back to you on that. My human brain cannot really comprehend the complicated nature of the 4 quadrants. So then I might just make a post about that later. I need to really sit down and noodle on that for a while, and I wanted to get this up. But then on to, I was asked to give you guys an example of throat singing, which is something I learned for choir this year. Let me explain what it is first, so then when I do it, I don't scare you guys as much. It is something where you compress your vocal cords, so then you don't really use them as much. And then actually above, so you have your vocal cords, and then you have these folds above them. They're false vocal cords that you actually don't use from the day you're born. What you can do is you can force those to vibrate at half the frequency of your vocal cords, which then creates this really low tone, which can be used for beatboxing. You can use it. I've heard of like Tibetan monks using it for their meditation stuff. It's a really strange thing that sounds a little bit like you're almost going to puke yourself. It kind of sounds like you're growling at someone. And it's something that I was asked to learn for the synth line in the bass of AWOL Nation's Sail. We did an a cappella arrangement of that for choir this past year. So here's an example. So then what you can do is you actually have to take the growl and pick a tone and compress your vocal cords a certain amount to get that tone. It's a really strange thing, and feel free to think I'm weird for knowing how to do that. Then the longest answering anon is the story of my first con experience. And that is probably one of the greatest things that happened to me last summer. My brother and I, my oldest brother Dan, and I were cosplaying the Flim Flam Brothers from My Little Pony. And we went to this convention in the south part of the Twin Cities. And my brother went up to the top floor of this hotel and ran away and hid in the Magic the Gathering card game room, leaving me kind of by myself. I was sitting there in my striped vest and had a guitar on my back and really had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know any of the panel schedules. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know like what fandoms I was in because I really wasn't like into fandoms that much at that time. So then I was kind of trolling around, finding different rooms, meeting different people, and I really didn't get into the zone, as it were, until Friday evening. There was a Brony meetup in the main atrium area, and that's where I met a couple of really, really amazing people, played some guitar, took some pictures with Captain America, and there was just something about it that it was just so great and so unforgettable that I just couldn't get enough of it. And I just want to go back. And it's, I don't know. It's a very long story and there are lots of cheesy things. But I'm just going to stop talking now because I've been talking for like a quarter of an hour. This is ridiculous. If you guys have any other questions for me, I'm always glad to answer some. And yeah, without any further ado, I hope you guys have a great night and keep on being excellent. You guys are